Alita: Battle Angel may not have become one of the biggest box office hits when it arrived in 2019, but the movie has never really disappeared from the conversation. Even after several years, fans are still talking about it because they connected with its story, its action, and especially its main character. That support has kept hopes for a second movie alive, even though there still hasn't been an official green light. Now, Rosa Salazar has shared another encouraging update, and it gives fans another reason to believe that Alita: Battle Angel 2 could still happen. Salazar, who brought Alita to life in the first movie, recently spoke during Collider Ladies Night and made it clear that she hasn't stopped believing in the sequel. She admitted that she brings up Alita whenever she gets the chance because the project is still close to her heart. According to her, there is still a possibility that the sequel moves forward. It isn't something she has given up on, and she sounded genuinely hopeful that fans will eventually get another adventure in Alita's world. One of the biggest reasons she remains optimistic is James Cameron. Even though Cameron has been extremely busy over the last several years, Salazar believes his commitment to the franchise hasn't disappeared. She joked that everyone will probably get Cameron back once he finishes working on another Avatar movie. That comment was made with the sense of humor, but it also reflects the biggest challenge standing in the sequel's way. Cameron has spent years focusing on the Avatar franchise, so finding time for another major science fiction project hasn't been easy. Even with that obstacle, Salazar doesn't sound discouraged. In fact, she laughed about being one of the people constantly supporting Alita online. She joked that she is basically one of all those internet bots that never stop asking for another movie. That playful comment shows just how passionate she still is about returning to the character. 6 years after the original film was released, she continues promoting the sequel every chance she gets because she genuinely wants it to become reality. That kind of dedication isn't surprising when you hear her talk about making the first movie. Salazar explained that working on Alita: Battle Angel was one of the best experiences of her career because everything came together in such a special way. She got the chance to collaborate with James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez, two filmmakers who already had a strong friendship and shared the same vision for the project. According to her, everyone involved cared deeply about creating something memorable, and that positive atmosphere made the production incredibly rewarding. She also praised the massive team behind the film. From the visual effects artist Sat Weta to the thousands of people who helped bring the futuristic world to life, Salazar said the collaboration was unlike anything she had experienced before. Even though so many people were involved, the movie still focused on emotional moments between characters, and she found that balance amazing. Being part of such a large production while still telling a personal story made the experience unforgettable for her. Because of that connection, it makes complete sense that Salazar still wants another movie. She isn't simply hoping for another job, she genuinely loves the world, the characters, and the creative team behind the franchise. That passion continues to shine through every time she discusses Alita, so fans have every reason to believe she would return immediately if the sequel received official approval. Interestingly, starring in Alita: Battle Angel was also a major milestone in Salazar's career. Before landing the lead role, she appeared in movies like Insurgent and the Maze Runner sequels. Although those projects were successful, she wasn't the central character. Alita changed everything because she became the face of a huge science fiction film, and that came with a completely different level of responsibility. She admitted that earning the lead role felt exciting, but only for a very short time. Right after that feeling of validation passed, nerves quickly took over because she understood how much pressure came with carrying such a massive movie. It was a challenge that would have intimidated almost anyone, especially considering the technical demands of performance capture and the expectations surrounding such a beloved manga adaptation. Still, Salazar believed she could do the character justice almost immediately. From the first time she read the script, she felt that she understood who Alita was. She believed she could bring that personality to the screen because she connected with the character on a very personal level. That confidence continued to grow throughout the audition process. She especially remembers her final audition with Robert Rodriguez because that was the moment everything seemed to click. During that meeting, she had enough time to fully explain her interpretation of Alita and demonstrate how she wanted to portray the character. Rodriguez apparently realized that her understanding of Alita matched his own vision, and from that point forward, everything became much easier. Once they were creatively aligned, the production moved ahead smoothly because everyone was working toward the same goal. That strong connection to the character didn't disappear after filming ended. In fact, it became even stronger. Salazar cared so much about Alita's future that she actually decided to write her own treatment for a second movie. She wasn't asked to do it, but she loved the story so much that she couldn't resist imagining where things could go next. After finishing her treatment, she sent it directly to James Cameron. To her surprise, Cameron responded positively and told her that he thought it was really cool. Salazar understands that her version probably won't become the actual screenplay if the sequel happens, but receiving encouragement from one of the world's most respected filmmakers clearly meant a lot. It also showed that Cameron appreciated her passion for the franchise. Her interest in writing a sequel came from more than simply loving the first movie. She is also a dedicated fan of the original source material, and because she knows those stories so well, she naturally started thinking about future possibilities. Instead of waiting around, she decided to put her own ideas on paper. That kind of enthusiasm says a lot about how invested she remains in Alita's journey. Fortunately for fans, Salazar isn't the only person who still wants another movie. James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez have repeatedly expressed their desire to continue the story. One of the biggest updates came back in 2022, when Cameron revealed that he and Rodriguez had made what he jokingly described as a blood oath to make Alita 2. That statement made it clear that neither filmmaker has abandoned the project, even though progress has taken much longer than expected. The biggest challenge appears to be convincing the studio to move forward. Producing an Alita sequel would require a massive budget because the original relied heavily on advanced visual effects, motion capture, and large-scale action sequences. Even though audiences embraced the movie, its box office performance wasn't quite strong enough to remove every financial concern. Studios naturally look at profits before approving expensive productions, so that has likely slowed the process. But audience support has remained surprisingly strong over the years. Instead of fading away after leaving theaters, Alita Battle Angel has developed an even more loyal following. Fans have continued discussing the movie across social media, signing petitions, and campaigning for another installment. That steady enthusiasm has helped keep the sequel alive because studios often pay attention to when interest refuses to disappear. The fan community, often called the Alita Army, has played a huge role in keeping momentum going. They continue sharing artwork, discussions, and messages asking for another film. Even though several years have passed, their excitement hasn't really faded. The chances of seeing Alita return someday still feels very real. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.